strokes the three from the left wing.
Gagliardi, why not? He's feeling it. He's from three.
Goodness. Junior down the lane, drops to Rainwater for a two-handed slam.
That's what you do. He will tear down a rim this year.
Largely able to blow by the pressure. Now a lob. Rivers throws it down. Catto tries it again. You bet. Caleb Catto, back-to-back threes.
Hello, Eagles fans. I am back. This is Elliott Cressy. I was gone for like a month, and Russell did everything himself. He worked really hard. He's still sweating.
Yeah, I sweat even when I don't do strenuous activity. So, I don't know how tough
Although
it was.
the mornings are cooling off.
Don't jinx it.
You might be in some relief.
Don't jinx it.
October in Southwest Florida.
We'll see.
But it's great to be back. We just attended our first practice at FGCU. It was the end of the first week for the men's basketball team, and a lot of good things, a lot of positive things we saw. Really good flow. Great coaching. Looked really good from our
vantage
amateur viewpoint.
Amateur? What are you talking about?
Yeah, I guess we're whatever.
We're skilled.
Russell, you want to go into your initial thoughts or impressions from today's practice?
Yeah, it was. I mean, first week down, you could tell the guys are having fun together. I'm probably gonna do a mini article. We'll get some of each of our, points in there, just as a breakdown of our initial impressions of the team after a week of practice. But a teaser or something. One thing I liked is that, and this point has been made, and you'll hear Coach Fly say this in an interview we got with him, and I believe it was reported by Greg Hardwick. But it's a lot less teaching and a lot more playing. It's a lot, guys aren't having to be, taught, the basics of D1 college basketball because they're coming in, from high school or something. It's guys know what to do, so it's a lot more, this is how our offense works, this is how our defense works, this is what we want you to do in these situations, and guys are getting it. So I think from a coaching standpoint, that is encouraging. Other than that, just the competitiveness of the team, you can tell everyone likes each other, you can tell everyone has fun with each other, but at the same time, it's a competition, and we're going to try to put you on a poster if need be. But at the end of the day, we're teammates. So I really was encouraged by the growth and just, watching the talent in action.
Yeah, speaking of competition, everyone's favorite part of the practice is the scrimmage. And let me tell you, the scrimmage ended with a cliffhanger because it ended in a tie.
No overtime.
At the buzzer, but no overtime because Michael Fly likes to keep everyone on edge for next practice. So it was a really good showing, a lot of athleticism, really some really good sharpshooters on the team.
Yeah, the shooting looks really good, and it's a lot of times. I mean, how many years have we gotten excited in the off season about the new additions, or this freshman looks really good, or this or that, and they're great at shooting, or they're great at this, or they're great at whatever, and then it doesn't always translate because maybe this is their first time playing college ball, and all of a sudden it's hard for them to shoot threes, and it wasn't in high school, something like that, and their game changes. But we talked about for a while the guys they brought in, they're not guys who we don't know what their abilities are. We've seen their abilities, maybe not firsthand, but we can go back and look over 3-4 year careers at other places and know what they're good at. And so Tavian Dunn-Martin, he's scrappy, he's quick, he can
doesn't
shoot.
miss.
He don't miss. He can shoot. He looks like a leader too. He's very vocal. So it'll be fun to watch that play out. But Austin Ritchie, another guy advertised as a 3-point guy, and we're hoping that translates too. And just these guys are proven, and that's part of the excitement around this year is that we're going to see all these guys coming from a bunch of different places who've all had their own success, and now we're all trying to have success together. As we mentioned earlier, we did get a chance to speak to Coach Fly after practice, and we'll follow that up with a conversation we were able to have with Caleb Catto. So happy to have another senior on the podcast. Catto entering his senior year, and enjoy. So, Coach, we're here, first week of practice in the books. How do you feel just, finally getting back in, and after the first full week, how are we looking?
Yeah, the biggest thing, I just said to you guys, we got done. We're pretty healthy, so that's the biggest thing this time of year. Caleb Catto starting to work back into half-court contact. Luis Rolón, we hope to start getting back into some contact maybe in the next few weeks. Cyrus was out today with a little bit of a tweak, but we expect all those guys back before we get going for real. So anytime you can get through week one with no new injuries, that's a good thing.
Absolutely. That's and even watching it from a spectator standpoint, that's definitely always what kind of goes through your mind. It's just like, man, I hope it just stays like this, nobody gets hurt. But first day of practice this past Tuesday, I think it was, media kind of day, people can come. I believe it was Greg Hardwick was talking with you, and you had mentioned to him that having so much experience, this time around, you've been able to focus a lot more on, the playing aspect of it more than the teaching aspect of it. And you can kind of see some of that here today too. But, I guess just expand on that. Is it the chemistry of playing with each other now that's sort of able to be added more so than in years past?
Yeah, in years past we had such a young group, and we had so few returners, especially the first 2 years. It was just so much teaching, breaking everything down. Everything was new, terminology. So it was really hard to get in much of a flow in practice because we really needed to stop at every possession if we could. So what's nice about this group is a lot of these guys have played so much college basketball at this point that I can basically bring them in a huddle and say, hey guys, we're going to run this defense, we're going to run this offense, any questions, ready, break. And it's just a much easier way to play basketball. I know it sounds funny, but I think as coaches sometimes we get caught up in becoming drill masters, which that's great, but you need to get up and down. You need to do what you're going to be doing for 40 minutes here pretty soon.
Heard. And, with all these new guys coming in, it seemed like the theme of the offseason as far as adding talent was to get proven experience in the building, going after D1 upperclassmen. Is that sort of a shift in mentality for you, or was it just kind of the volume of players in the portal and extra COVID years and things like that?
Yeah, it was a little bit of both. Last year was so hard for our guys because of COVID, and we felt like we had built the program for 2 years basically to hopefully crescendo in year 3. And when we beat University of Miami early, we felt like we were going in a great direction, had a really good win over Georgia Southern, so we were super excited going into conference play. Then for 2 weeks we didn't practice, so then we got back in shape a little bit, then for 2 weeks more we didn't practice. So going into this off season, we did the develop high school guys and signed 4-year guys for multiple years, and I just did not want to take any chances after going through that last year where we just didn't have control of whether or not we were able to play basketball. And my second year, losing those 4 guys that were potential starters to injury, I just didn't want to take any chances on, we could have had a really good year, but. So we kind of made a decision as a staff, listen, we're going to sign the most talent we can sign, and we'll let those guys figure it out. It's not my job to figure out who plays. It's their job based on who performs. So I think the change of the transfer rule also just gave us a different perspective in terms of what we want to do from a recruiting standpoint. We still want to recruit high school guys. We're still going to recruit junior college guys. But as you guys could probably see today, when you're able to get players that have played meaningful minutes at the Division I level, you just know a little bit more what to expect. When you're dealing with high school and junior college guys, even the best evaluators, you don't know what they are until they step onto your campus. So I think it was a combination of a lot of things.
Definitely. And the competition here, just from the practice that we've been able to watch is definitely there. A lot of guys competing, and like you said, a lot of guys figuring out who's get minutes, who's gonna decide it for themselves, like you said. So some new faces on the coaching staff. Coach Sutton seems like he's bringing a lot of energy, bringing a lot of charisma to the team, and guys seem to like him. Can you just sort of comment on, I guess, his role as an assistant coach, and maybe there's certain things he's taken over or what?
Yeah, so all those guys, we try to split responsibilities in terms of recruiting, scouting, player development. We want all the assistant coaches to be getting ready for at some point in their careers to be head coaches. Coach Sutton has been a head coach before at the high school level. He founded the program at Montverde Academy, and he's been able to see the game at a lot of different levels, from the mid-major level at James Madison to the A-10 with George Washington, at the highest level at Georgetown and Pittsburgh, and then back in the A-10 at Rhode Island. So he just brings a lot of experience. We've been very close for a number of years. When I was at Florida State on staff with Coach Hamilton, we actually had some of his players. So it's a relationship that goes back a long way, and I think the biggest compliment for Coach Sutton is he understands me, and he understands what I want from this program, and he understands what I need from an assistant coach. But I think all 3 of those guys, Coach Furr, Coach Bailey, and Coach Sutton, all have done a tremendous job for us at this point.
So really the last thing I'd have is, obviously you're still figuring things out with lineups. That's what the whole, month plus of practice is leading up to the season. But Elliott and I are, we geek out over the conversation around who's playing and the lineups and the different possibilities. So I guess just for you, as the coach, it's talking about those things with your assistants, seeing how it's working out. Like, how exciting is that for you, all the, versatility that it looks like this team might have and the different lineups that you can sort of run with whenever it's beneficial?
Yeah, we're trying to be cautiously optimistic just because, this time of the year, everybody's excited in the country. Everybody, the thing you hear is how deep everybody is. Well, yeah, because right now not a lot of people are injured. So, we just want to try to get to November 9th as healthy as possible and really just coming in and working really hard every day. We think if we bring unbelievable enthusiasm and energy, put the work in, that hopefully good things will happen.
All right, we appreciate you coming on. Thank you very much.
No problem. Thanks, guys.
Great to see you back in action.
Appreciate it.
First week of practice coming to a close. How's it feel to get back on the court?
Feels good, man. It's been a while, so it's always good to be able to get back on the court and do what you love. Yes, sir.
With all the new faces, how is that meshing as you guys get, chemistry build up and all that coming together?
Yeah,
good?
I mean, we got a lot of older guys, so I think it's coming a lot quicker than usual. If you got younger guys and stuff, a lot of returning guys with experience. So I think the chemistry is coming along nice. So it's been fun to watch.
And Caleb, it's kind of surreal to me. We started Street Report in I think it was October 2019,
yeah.
And coming off your pretty typical freshman year, and now we're talking to you as a senior. Reflect on, I guess, how it's been, where you've been, and what it's like coming now into your senior year, ready for your senior season.
Yeah, it's a blur, kind of, to be honest. It's a real feeling. They say when you come in as a freshman, it's snap of a finger, it'll be over. So I think the biggest thing for me this year is just trying to be as present as possible, enjoy the little things, enjoy my teammates, enjoy the coaches. For me, I think the biggest thing is relationships. In the 4 years, or I guess 3, this being 4 years that I've been here, I think those will be the main things that stick out to me when I'm 40, 50 years old. So.
And something I've, just kind of curious about the returning guys, asking them this question. It's, you return 70-something% scoring and a lot of starts coming back. And so it's almost like the off-season starts and you think, okay, we'll get some depth pieces and stuff like that. But, our core is returning. But that didn't happen at all. It was let's go get, all this talent, all this proven experience. So what is it like for you, a team leader, sitting back and watching just more and more and more talent and just, what this team could be?
Yeah, for sure. I think the biggest thing is just, 1, it's fun. 2, it's fun to watch. But 3, it's just, I think at the end of the day, regardless of talent, we're all trying to come together for a common goal. So I think that's the most important thing. A big word that Coach Fly has been using is sacrifice. Obviously, we have some talented pieces, some returning pieces. So I think the biggest thing is if we can all just buy in, I think we can have a good year, special year.
And so just to address maybe the medical status, you don't have to go into detail if you don't want, but there was,
Yeah.
You had some off-season surgery. Was this part of the plan or something that came up, or is this something that was like a preventative measure? Or?
Yeah, it was just a wear and tear thing. Obviously, one of my goals, it's always been my goal, is to play professionally, so kind of cleaning up that stuff for hopefully basketball after FGCU. But like I said, just a wear and tear thing, just cleaning some stuff up.
And then we talked about the returning talent and the influx of new talent. And how has it been? We kind of already talked about this, but now that the first week's concluded, anyone stand out to you as at this time, or how different does it feel this time around versus last year?
Yeah, I mean, I've had a lot of time being able to watch guys play. Obviously, I think we have a lot of talent returning and a lot of talent coming in. Obviously, with TDM, Matt Halverson, who can really shoot it, Kevin, Austin Ritchie, Carlos. So I think for me, the funnest part is just they've all had different journeys at different schools. I've had a different journey at my school here. So I think it's super cool to kind of share a journey together in our last year. That's kind of the biggest thing for me.
For sure, and it's going to be a wild ride watching, and you as a team, as a player, it's going to be great kind of experiencing how everyone contributes at the end of the day and how the season ends up looking. And we're all here for the ride. But I guess my last question would just be individual goals for the season, team goals for this season. Obviously, everyone wants the highest heights.
Yeah, for sure. Individual goals, I would say, I think in my time here I've learned that the most important thing to me, like I said in the past, is relationships. I hope I can be a great teammate. I think it's going to be huge for all of us to buy in, sacrifice. But yeah, individual goals, just be a great teammate. Enjoy this year, have some fun, play with some joy. Team goals, you want to win every single game, every time you step out on the court. So take one game at a time and just have fun and see what happens.
All right, well, thank you.
Appreciate you guys.
Thanks for tuning in, guys. It's great to be back. It's great to see college basketball on the floor again for the first time. Only about a month to go until season tip. We hope to get back to another practice or two before then to see any progression in the next month or so. But right now they're looking like they're rolling on all cylinders as much as they can be. So with that, we'll see you next time.
Goodbye.
Go Eagles.
Go team.
No one says goodbye.
Go Eagles.
Who the hell says goodbye?
Bye. Tilita, 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 tilita.